Let's talk about the power of nonverbal cues, the silent language that speaks volumes. Men, you may be surprised to learn just how much a woman communicates without ever saying a word. The body is an extraordinary tool for expression, and when it comes to women, their bodies have an incredible ability to relay thoughts and emotions that they may not even be fully conscious of. You might think you know what's going on in her mind based on what she says, but trust me, what you see with your eyes is just as important, if not more. A woman's posture, for example, can tell you everything you need to know about her mood or level of comfort. If she stands tall with an open stance, she's likely feeling confident, strong, and ready to take on whatever comes her way. But if she's slumped, arms crossed, or seems to be retreating, there's a message there too. These subtle cues speak to her sense of security, or lack thereof. It's the body's way of sending a signal when words are not yet ready to come. And then there's the power of the eyes. Men, have you ever been in a room and across the crowd you catch a woman's gaze? What you might not know is that her eyes are telling you far more than just an "I see you." Women's eyes can show interest, curiosity, attraction, or even disapproval, all in the fraction of a second. A lingering glance can say a lot about what's stirring inside her, and it's often a more honest reflection of her feelings than anything she might say aloud. It's a natural instinct, this silent communication, and it's not something that can be easily faked. But it's not just the eyes and posture. The way a woman moves through the world can be a dance of emotional expression. Watch her walk, how her hips sway, how she glances around. These movements often tell you more about her inner world than you might think. A confident, assertive walk might indicate a woman who feels in control and comfortable in her environment. A more timid or hesitant step might hint at uncertainty or discomfort. These are things that most men miss unless they're paying attention. But once you become aware of them, you'll start seeing the world through a whole new lens. Even something as simple as the way she touches her own body can hold meaning. The act of brushing her hair behind her ear, adjusting her clothing, or even subconsciously touching her neck, these movements often convey vulnerability or an attempt to soothe herself when she's feeling exposed or anxious. It's a fascinating psychological play that's happening right before your eyes, and yet most of the time it goes unnoticed. The truth is, a woman's body doesn't just exist as a vessel. It's an extension of her emotions and thoughts. The way she stands, walks, and moves through the world speaks to how she's feeling in that moment, whether she's at ease, anxious, interested, or closed off. And once you start recognizing these silent signals, you'll realize just how much you can learn without a single word being spoken. This understanding of body language not only helps in relationships, but deepens your connection with her on a level that words alone can't always achieve. It's about being present, paying attention, and respecting the subtle messages that are being sent to you, whether you hear them or not. Let's dive into something that might blow your mind: the powerful and often invisible influence of hormones on a woman's behavior. Now, I know we've all heard about hormones, right? We've heard the word thrown around, especially when it comes to mood swings or changes in a woman's energy. But let me tell you, hormones don't just affect a woman's mood. They affect nearly every aspect of her behavior, decision-making, and yes, even the way she interacts with you. From the moment a woman wakes up, her body is playing a game of hormone roulette. Estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. These powerful chemicals are constantly shifting, often in ways that she may not even notice. And the way these hormones impact her isn't always obvious. For example, during certain times of the month, a woman may feel more in tune with her emotions. Her body might be more sensitive, and her reactions to situations may be amplified. You could find her more introspective, more emotional, or even more intense in her desires and interaction. This isn't just being hormonal, it's biology at work, influencing her every move. Take ovulation, for example. This is one of the most powerful times for a woman's body. When a woman is ovulating, her body is biologically primed for reproduction. And while this might sound like something straight out of a biological textbook, There's more to it than just the biological drive. During ovulation, women experience higher levels of estrogen, which not only increases fertility, but also enhances physical appearance and makes her more attractive to potential partners subconsciously. She may feel more confident, more radiant, and even more open to connecting. For a man, this can be a time when a woman's body language and attraction signals are at their peak, though she may not always be fully aware of it. But it doesn't stop there. The hormonal fluctuations continue throughout the menstrual cycle, and they have a profound impact on a woman's energy and emotional state. Right before her period, progesterone takes center stage. This is the time when many women feel more introspective, more withdrawn, or more likely to crave comfort. It's a time when her energy might dip, and she may want to be left alone or seek more emotional support. Men might be puzzled by these sudden changes, but the answer lies in the body's internal chemistry. It's not about being moody or irrational. It's simply how her hormones are guiding her emotional landscape. And let's not forget stress. When life gets overwhelming, a woman's body releases cortisol, the stress hormone, which can throw everything off balance. Under stress, a woman may seem more anxious, more reactive, or more defensive. Again, it's all part of her body's natural response. These hormonal shifts affect her sense of self, her confidence, and even her physical well-being. What might seem like a shift in her personality is actually her body responding to a whole host of invisible cues that men often can't see, but can definitely feel. So the next time you find yourself confused by a woman's behavior or attitude, remember this. Her body is constantly shifting with these hormones, sometimes making her feel on top of the world, and other times like she's carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. Understanding this isn't just about being more empathetic. It's about realizing that what might seem like irrational behavior is often a natural hormonal response that you can't control. It's not her, it's biology. And once you understand that, you'll start to see her with a new level of compassion and understanding. Let's take a moment to explore one of the most fascinating aspects of a woman's experience that many men don't fully realize: the complexities of her brain. Now, we all know that women and men are different, but when it comes to the way their brains process information, emotions, and even stress, the differences are profound. A woman's brain is wired to be more emotional, more intuitive, and in many ways more connected to her body and mind than we often give credit for. For starters, women have a larger corpus callosum, the part of the brain that connects the left and right hemispheres. What does this mean for her? It means that women are naturally better at multitasking and integrating different kinds of information simultaneously. While men might excel at focusing on one task at a time, a woman's brain is constantly taking in multiple signals, analyzing them, and responding accordingly. She's more likely to juggle emotional, social, and environmental cues all at once. So when she's engaging in a conversation with you, she's not just listening to your words. She's noticing your tone, your body language, the emotions behind your words, and yes, the space between your words too. This is why women tend to pick up on things that may slip under a man's radar. It's not magic, it's biology. Now, let's talk about emotional processing. Women's brains are equipped to process emotions on a deeper level than men's. The amygdala, which controls emotional responses, is more active in women, allowing them to experience and express emotions more intensely. That's why, as much as men may try to rationalize emotions, women often lean into them. It's not that women are too emotional. It's that their brains are wired to experience emotions more vividly. Whether it's joy, sadness, or even stress, women feel these emotions in a way that creates a deeper connection to their surroundings and the people they care about. It's as though their emotional lives are intricately woven into their daily existence, and that can sometimes be overwhelming, but it's also what makes them so in tune with the world around them. And here's where things get even more interesting. Women's brains are also wired for empathy. This doesn't mean that men aren't capable of empathy, but women tend to engage the areas of the brain responsible for understanding and feeling the emotions of others more quickly. This heightened empathy allows them to pick up on subtle emotional shifts in others, like when something's off, even if no one says a word. It's why women can often sense when something is wrong with you, even if you haven't said anything. This ability to tune in to other people's feelings allows women to build stronger, more connected relationships. It's not about being overly sensitive, it's about having a heightened sensitivity to the emotional currents that move through the world. This deep emotional processing, combined with her brain's ability to integrate information from all areas of her life, means that women often come to decisions based on a much broader perspective. Men, on the other hand, might approach decisions in a more linear, logical way. But women, oh, they've considered the emotional, social, and sometimes even spiritual implications of every choice they make. It's not about being indecisive. It's about the brain pulling together a multitude of signals to arrive at a conclusion that takes into account the full complexity of the situation. So the next time you find yourself puzzled by a woman's response to a situation or a conversation, remember that her brain is working overtime, processing emotions and information in ways that you may not fully understand. But when you start to appreciate the complexity of her mental and emotional landscape, you'll begin to see her with the depth of understanding she deserves. Let's take a moment to explore something truly powerful, yet often hidden in plain sight: the deep primal instincts that shape how women perceive attraction and mate selection. It's easy to think that relationships, love, and attraction are driven purely by conscious decisions or personal preferences. But let me tell you, there's so much more beneath the surface, rooted in centuries of evolutionary psychology. Women's subconscious mind is constantly working, influenced by biological instincts that have been honed over thousands of years to ensure survival and reproduction. One of the most fascinating things about human attraction is that it's not just about surface level qualities like looks or charm. Of course, those things matter to some degree, but the real driving force often comes from a much deeper place. Women have evolved to be hyper aware of signals that indicate strength, stability, and the ability to provide and protect. This doesn't always look like what you might think. It's not just about physical strength or wealth, though those can play a part. It's about a whole range of subtle signals that a woman picks up on without even realizing it. Sex is a similar sort of deal when it comes to getting, for instance, how a man handles stress, his level of emotional intelligence, and how he shows up in challenging situations all play into her subconscious assessment of whether he's someone she can depend on. This isn't about manipulation or calculation, it's simply biology at work, guiding her choices based on survival instincts. Attraction for women is also deeply tied to what's known as genetic diversity. Women, on a subconscious level, are often drawn to men whose physical traits, body scent, and behaviors indicate genetic markers that suggest strength, resilience, and good health. This is why, without realizing it, she might be attracted to someone with a certain set of physical traits or a particular type of confidence that signals genetic compatibility. It's fascinating how something as primal as this plays out in modern day attraction. But it's not just about appearance. Women also tend to evaluate men based on their ability to contribute to the long-term survival of a family. This is deeply rooted in evolutionary psychology. And more than anything, it's the emotional and psychological compatibility that plays an essential role. Ever wondered why emotional intelligence is such a key factor for women when considering a mate? It's because deep down, women are wired to seek emotional stability, understanding, and a partner who can connect on a deeper, more emotional level. A woman's attraction is often influenced by a man's ability to communicate, to empathize, and to understand the emotional landscape of the relationship. A man who can open up, be vulnerable, and truly listen to her needs isn't just someone she's attracted to. He's someone who resonates with her on a fundamental, evolutionary level. In many ways, this emotional connection signals that he will be a capable partner when it comes to raising children or navigating life's challenges together. But perhaps the most surprising thing about evolutionary attraction is that women's preferences can often shift depending on where they are in their cycle. When a woman is ovulating, she may feel an increased attraction to more traditionally masculine traits: confidence, dominance, and physical strength. Yet, during other phases of her cycle, she might gravitate towards more nurturing, empathetic qualities in a partner. This isn't about being fickle, it's about her body's natural alignment with reproductive and relational instincts. It's a biological rhythm that many don't realize plays such a significant role in who a woman is drawn to at different times. So, men, the next time you find yourself wondering why a woman might be attracted to someone who doesn't seem to fit the mold, know that her instincts are often working behind the scenes in ways you can't see. These evolutionary traits don't disappear because we live in a modern world. They continue to influence attraction in ways that we're just starting to understand. Understanding this deeper layer of attraction allows us to see each other with greater empathy and respect, knowing that our desires and choices are shaped by far more than meets the eye. Let's talk about something that often goes unspoken, but is so deeply embedded in the lives of women: the influence of social conditioning on how they see their bodies and themselves. From the moment a woman is born, society begins to shape her understanding of beauty, value, and worth. The pressure to conform to unrealistic standards, the constant comparison to others, and the overwhelming images of what a perfect body should look like. These forces shape her self-picture in ways that most men can't even begin to understand. And yet this influence impacts nearly every decision she makes about how she presents herself to the world. Think about it. How many times have you heard a woman talk about her body in ways that are self-critical or filled with doubt? Maybe she's commenting on her weight, her skin, or her appearance in a way that seems almost second nature. And what many men don't realize is that this is often a reflection of the countless messages women receive throughout their lives about what's expected of them. The pressure to look a certain way, to fit into a particular mold, is so deeply ingrained that it becomes part of their daily existence. Women are often judged not only for how they look, but for how they carry themselves, always balancing the need to be confident and the fear of being too assertive or appearing too vulnerable or too distant. But here's where it gets even more complicated. This societal influence goes beyond just appearance. It seeps into how women express their emotions, how they seek validation, and even how they navigate relationships. The constant balancing act between being assertive and being liked, being strong and being gentle, is something that women are conditioned to walk. There's a societal expectation that women should always be pleasing, but never too much, too loud, too opinionated, too direct. This creates an internal tension that women often carry, which can sometimes manifest in self-doubt, insecurity, or even feelings of being inadequate. And let's not forget the powerful role that social media plays in this equation. Platforms filled with filtered images, curated lifestyles, and constant comparison make it even harder for women to feel good in their own skin. The truth is, social media amplifies the idea that women must live up to impossible standards of beauty and perfection, often leading to frustration, anxiety, and a disconnect between how a woman truly feels and how she's expected to present herself. The pressure to portray an image of flawlessness becomes all-consuming, even as women juggle 1,000 different roles in their personal and professional lives. Yet, despite all of this, there's something incredibly resilient about women. While society may try to impose its standards, women have a deep well of strength that allows them to rise above it. Many women are learning to embrace their bodies in all their complexities, understanding that true beauty doesn't come from fitting into a mold, but from owning their unique selves. And more, they're rejecting the narrative that their value is determined by their appearance alone. It's a journey of self-love and acceptance, where women begin to define beauty on their own terms, regardless of external pressures. So, men, the next time you hear a woman express self-doubt about her body or appearance, know that it's often a reflection of years of conditioning, not her true worth. The pressure to meet certain expectations is something she carries every day. But when you see her for who she truly is, strong, complex, multifaceted, you'll begin to understand the depth of her journey towards self-acceptance. It's not about conforming to society's standards. It's about embracing her body and her soul exactly as they are.